Well, it says we're live. Live. Happy. A super duper. Happy. It's definitely, definitely Friday night in the old VW bus. That's for sure. Hope all is well, swell, and totally hip and groovy. Totally hip and groovy in your neck of the woods. Good evening, Eagle Eye. Good evening, Brother Eric. Hope you two wonderful folks are doing swell, well, and groovy. Elsewhere, good evening. Hope all is swell, well, and groovy with you, Sister Lori. Over there in Tulsa time, living on Tulsa time. I'm just hanging out in the old VW bus on a Friday night. On a Friday night, I kind of had things planned. I had things kind of planned. I was kind of hoping to go out with some fellow coworkers and all that jazz, and have some fun, shoot some pool. But it didn't. It did not turn out like that. Definitely didn't turn out like that. The weather. The weather is drizzly, foggy, and in the mid 40s. Reminds me a lot like Seattle, Washington. It is not the greatest here, but I'm cozy in the old VW bus. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to complain at all. See, like I said, I had plans. I was hoping to go out and have some fun, but that didn't happen. It definitely did not happen. Of course, last night, if you guys go back and catch my live stream from last night, I was discussing that with my friend Megan. She's somebody who she's just somebody, I guess. Anywho, I was hoping to go out and have some fun this evening, but no. Of course, you fine folks may or may not know. A few weeks ago, I kind of had some turmoil in my life and stuff like that, and obviously, I pissed off my coworkers good enough that it was just not the best of idea for me to go out tonight and probably mingle with the folks. Imagine me pissing off people that bad to where I'm not invited. me, me, yeah, yours truly. Kind of sucks, and it just sucks because it just sucks. I don't know. I've never heard of doing three strikes if you say something wrong. Lord knows I've said the F bomb a few times, and I don't think I got any strikes. I think the strikes on the old YouTube is copyright strikes and all that jazz, but I don't have to worry about that. I definitely don't have to worry about that. So it's no big wolf. But yeah, I was hoping to go out and have some fun and all that jazz, but I couldn't because really ridiculous reasons, basically. you know, I'm really starting to come to a conclusion about certain things in life that maybe certain things are best left alone, Not, I guess, not in my cards, as they say. you know, um, the craziest things in life just blow my mind away. That it doesn't matter if somebody's like financially secure, you know. if their life is not kosher, or if their life is different, you get ridiculed quite a bit. It's kind of a messed up dealio. But I decided, I wanted to talk about what's going on because it's part of my Type 2 vlog, like I document my life in and around this VW bus. Yes, sometimes I go see my mom, sometimes I'm doing things away from the VW bus and I still document my life, but at day's end, pretty much every day's end, I'm here in this VW bus. And you're right, Eagle Eye, sometimes talking about things helps, like, I was really looking forward to going out and hanging out with my coworkers and my friend Megan, but that, that did not happen because what sucks, what's the biggest thing that sucks is at work, I cannot associate with Megan. Like, my boss does not want me. So, therefore, anything to do with work related things like a work related pool game and go hang out at the bar after work, of course, yours truly doesn't get to go do that, because, folks there are just, I guess, that away. I mean, yes, I brought it upon myself by certain things, but it just sucks because I want to hang out with somebody, and that somebody's like would rather and hang out with folks, and to hell with it's messed up, like I thought my life was pretty kosher, pretty like I pretty much thought was what was going on was pretty cool, like I thought I had it figured out. And I really don't, man. Like, I know living in this VW bus, I love it. I love driving around in the VW bus. I love getting the smiles from the people, especially the pretty ladies. When the pretty ladies smile, it makes it pretty kosher, but in the back of my mind, I know for a fact it's like you tell those pretty ladies that you live in this VW bus, it's a pretty much a guaranteed they're gonna look at you like a low life, a loser. Oh, it was cool when you're driving that bus, but oh, we come to find out you live in that thing. You live in a van. Yeah. So there's hard things about living in the bus, and I think a lot of that maybe has to do with how people treat me at work because a lot of people see me as somebody that maybe has a lot of money or something because I choose not to pay rent or a mortgage and I live in a van. They see that in me, and that's all they see in me. They don't see at me trying to live simply. They don't see me. They don't. When you have a coworker ask to borrow $500 for, you understand how people at your work see you. They don't see me as a coworker or a friend. They just see me with somebody that probably has some money. And that's what sucks because, I really wanted to go out tonight and hang out with my friend Megan and my coworkers, shoot some pool. But that's why it's so hard for me to, do what I do every day when I feel like this, because that's why I quit doing YouTube. I like to send positivity out to the world, and that's what I do. This bus, this Volkswagen van, I know they built hundreds and thousands and hundreds of these things. This one is different. This one is just different. That's all I can say. And I get to wake up and fall asleep in it every day. Every day. And that's why I try to do my best, to bring you guys a little bit of it every day. Yes, this is a funny time to be going live. I've seen that Brother Mark's taking a little bit of a live stream break from the old live stream from all that jazz. And I completely understand when we all need our breaks. It's not so much I needed a break from YouTube. Like I said, I took a break from YouTube because it's hard to put positivity out there in the world when you're feeling so funky, so down, so rejected because of the person you choose to be and the life you choose to live. You know, and I understand a lot of the other stuff was my insecurities because after my divorce, I bottled up a lot of things. And those things were my insecurities, when somebody gives up on you, just gives up on you, it leaves you kind of insecure about things. It's just, I guess that's just a human thing to be. So that's why it's so important to try to live every single stinking, groovy, awesome, bodacious, bad, janky moment and be grateful for those moments. It's hard to be like that. But this is the true test, man. This is the true test that makes us who we are as individuals. A complete break. And that's what I did. That's what I did, Brother Craig. Good evening, Brother Craig. Didn't even see you come bebopping in. I get talking and I don't even pay attention. We got K Dog in the house. K Dog in the V Dub tonight. Who else we got hanging out? We got Stoner. Stoner. Man, you guys just came sneaking in. Good evening, my friends. Hope all is well, swell, and totally hip and groovy. Totally hip and groovy. Thank you, K Dog. You know, yes, you guys are vicariously here hanging out with me, and I'm vicariously there hanging out with you, and it feels good to hang out with friends tonight because I needed some people to talk to. I really, really did. My plans was to go hang out, shoot some pool at the bar, and have some laughs, but folks, like, literally, can you imagine that folks did not want me there? And I understand that, like, I dealt with some really bodacious and crazy insecurities this past month and a half. And I took it out with all my coworkers, and I understand I did that, but I tried my hardest to make my amends and say my sorries. But a lot of them seem not to want me and my friend Megan to be friends. That's the point, straight up point, and it sucks because it just does suck. Where I can't be invited to certain things because of it. So that's my life tonight. That's my life living in the VW bus. That's my turmoil. That's what's going on in my neck of the woods. But I chose to keep trucking on the old YouTube to hang out with you fine folks because you know what? In reality, hanging out with you guys, talking what's going on, freaking A, it helps, man. Like straight up legit stuff. It does. I always used to say YouTube is my therapy, and it really, really is. To talk to you guys, to get support. And you're exactly right, Eagle Eye. But unfortunately, this is reality. And it seems like in reality, certain folks, anywhere you go, have never just quite got out of the high school days. And even if they're in their freaking 50s, they just seem like they've just never got out of it. And you're right. You would figure so. But when certain people think certain other people, like, they are all under the impression that my friend Megan messed with my mind. Everybody thinks Megan messed with my mind, and they don't care to even understand it wasn't. It was my insecurities. It was me. It was me dealing with stupid stuff that I never dealt with after a divorce. Nothing. But they don't care. They care to just point fingers and say, oh, that's the case. And if that's the case, according to my supervisor, I can't even, associate with certain people. And that's what just drives me absolutely bonkers because it's like I can talk to you all I want after work and we can hang out after work, but at work I can't even associate with you. And if there's something work related after work, like tonight, everybody's shooting pool and hanging out, I'm not invited. That's straight up high school bullshit. And I don't mean to use the French words on the type too, but that's just straight up high school bullshit. But I'm there to do a job. I'm there to do a job, and I do my job well. And I think a lot of them get jealous because how well I do my job and how much work I do there. Why other people just goof off on their phones, and that's another thing that drives me absolutely batty. To be in the middle of working, pulling parts, doing stuff around there, and to see people just playing on their phones on company time, wasting time, knowing for a fact that other people are freaking just doing things where if everybody was doing the same thing, people, it would be a lot smoother, but that don't happen there. You know, when I go to work, my friends, when I get to work, I turn my data off on my phone. So I don't have, my phone going off, I get no messages, I don't get no notifications, nothing, It's only if somebody needs to get a hold of me, they can text message me if they have my phone number. And that's it. And I don't get text messaging. I don't. I mean, nobody text messages me. So it's just it blows my mind, like to see people like working and other people just, and it's like it seems like people in the higher ups just kind of look past it. But like I said before and I said again, they don't pay me to run a company. I'm not a supervisor. They don't pay me to do stuff like that. So they pay me to do a job there, and I do it very well. I drive, I pull parts, and I do it very, very well. I do it so well that it's very hard for them to let me go if they even wanted to let me go. I'm not going to let that go to my head. I am not. But just to know that other people are upset because how I work is gold right there. So that feels a little bit better talking about that little situation. It does. Oh, let you fine folks know I'm back out here in the country. I came back out to the country to eat a lot of peaches. Yeah. No, I'm actually way back out here in the country once again. So the same spot where I keep my bus at and keep the Ford F-250. Because tomorrow I'm gonna get up in the morning and go see my mom. I'll jump in the pick my almost left in the bus to drive to Ponca tonight. But see, I need to get some tires for this old VW bus. So I don't want to leave too far out of town with the tires I got. So I need to start focusing on getting some new tires and all that jazz. I understand what you're saying there, Stoner, but the way I was raised as a kid and the way my mom and dad raised me, like you do your job and you just do it to your best of your abilities, and that's just how I am. I mean, I've worked at places where people are like, "Man, don't work too hard. You gotta, you know," and I can't, and that's why I stay so busy at work. If I mean, my supervisor, as long as my supervisor is kosher with it, and they are super kosher of how I work. I don't care what my coworkers think. I don't care. Yes, it pisses me off to no end to cruise by and see these people playing on their phones while there's work to be done. But, they don't pay me to supervise them. So I can't say nothing about it. But, if you let the things like that get to you at work, you're not going to get no work done. So I just kind of like slide it by. Just slide it by. Just get out of doing stuff. Do a bad job. Well, it's a little different where I work elsewhere. It is a very very different place. Nothing bad. It's just some people, they don't want to work. They're just there to collect a paycheck and do as little as possible. And upper people who are ahead of other people, management type of people seem to look past it. So, like I said, they don't pay me to run a company. They don't pay me to be a supervisor. I get paid to drive a truck to deliver parts. I get paid to fill orders. Mostly, just a driver. I'm technically just a driver. So when I'm pulling orders and pulling part orders, other than for my deliveries, I'm just helping out. Literally, and these are the words of my supervisor. I'm just helping out. Okay, dog. It's like working at McDonald's with a McDonald's uniform for like you took the manager a few days to figure it out, man, because they're hiring the cream of the crop at those places. Yes, they are. So yeah, folks, it's a Friday night in the old VW bus. I'm hanging out. You're hanging out. We're all hanging out in the VW bus. I'm just doing some yip yapping, a little venting, letting you know what's going on. The van life, living in a VW bus is definitely a trip. In every sense, in every form, the good and the bad. I guess right now, of course, the bummer part for me is, I'm coming out of my divorce shell. I'm blowing up out of my divorce. I'm breaking through this divorce shell that I've been in for a few years now, and I am so ready to get out and you know date and hang out and do things. I am so ready. And I'm doing it. But I'm getting shot down almost at every every try when it comes to, you know, meeting the ladies. Like I meet quite a few ladies and do a lot of flirting, but once they find out that I live in a van, it's not the coolest thing. Um, just not the coolest thing. It's gotten so where I'm not going to tell people I live in a van. I don't think. I think I'm just going to give them, my sticker to my bus. Be like, you like YouTube? Check this out. Check me out on YouTube. Go from there. Because when I'm you know talking to ladies out there, because I meet a lot of ladies, and I get really comfortable with them. I usually try to give them a sticker to my YouTube channel, and that's when they like the sticker. But then once they find out I live in that van and I document my life in it, it's always shot down. It's been shot down every time, and it sucks. It's basically one of the another reasons why I want to get me four walls, window, door, all that jazz. So, you know, they would like to hang out in the bus that way, but right now, to meet somebody that's like me is a very hard thing to do. And I have, really good female friends, that are my good female friends that I talk to, and they're like, well, just go out and meet somebody. They just expect it like it's that easy for me just to go out and meet somebody. And that's what blows me away because how is it that easy for me to go out and meet somebody? It's not. Yeah, I can go out to a bar, you know, and all that jazz. But once you meet somebody, you know, there's no more options, you know. As soon as you say, "Hey, come and hang out with me in my van where I live," it's like, "Yeah, alligator." So here we are, my friends, already cruising into like 30 minutes into my live stream here. I usually like to keep them around the 30 minutes. Sometimes I go a little bit more. It is a Friday night, you know. It is a Friday night. I can yip yap a little bit longer. I have nothing to do. I had a really groovy plan to go out and hang out, but of course, you know, that didn't happen. I mean, I'm sure you guys have heard me enough or go on about that rant, but it felt good to at least talk about it. It felt good to at least talk about it. So yeah, hopefully my part for the generator comes in next week and they get that together so I can go pick up my generator and at least have my mobile power, my APU, auxiliary power unit, or just my Honda generator, whatever you want to call it. At least have it back because it's just it's a good peace of mind to know that I have mobile power, and if I want to just go stay at the truck stop overnight for a few nights, you know, or whatever, I won't have to worry about, you know, somebody else's electricity. Yeah, I know, Eagle Eye, but it's like it's starting to like even make sense to me. It doesn't matter if I'm financially stable. Like it does not matter because it's like I don't know, like I really don't want to give up, you know, my whole life like I know it just to be more suitable for somebody else eventually on down the road. It's a sucky feeling to think about. It's kind of a depressing feeling actually. But I love this little VW bus. I keep saying, you know, before I get an apartment or a house, you know, before I start paying for a place to live, either, you know, mortgage or rent, it doesn't matter, you're still paying money. Maybe I should just, you know, not even think about what I've been thinking about and just focus on the VW bus. Just focus on, you know, getting it ready for certain things that's coming up because it's going to come up quick if I don't get on top of it. And the more I struggle with these silly little things on if I want to get out and live, you know, amongst the home dwellers, and nothing bad about it, you know. It just it don't make sense to me no more living in four walls and windows and all that jazz because I did it. I had a mortgage, you know. I had a wife. I have no kids, thank goodness. Thank goodness. Nothing. I mean, nothing. You know, I would love to have kids maybe someday. I know my clock's ticking, but But it's Friday night in the old VW bus, my friends. Type 2 daily vlog. A little interesting daily vlog this evening. A little interesting aspect of my life. A little venting on my end. A little venting. It just sucks when life can tear you down and try to tear you down as a person. That's why I strive every day to be so positive here on YouTube and positive in life, because people in around me can tell when I'm not positive through life. They definitely can. And I don't like being like that. I like just being who I am. I like being able to almost have a carefree life, and that's exactly what it is. It's almost a carefree life. I know it's simple, but it's almost a carefree life. It was amazing before Ranger Dog passed away. Before Ranger Dog passed away, my worries was Ranger Dog and my mom. That was it. And of course, I still worry about my mom. Ranger Dog's gone. I just worry about my mom. And now, the most ridiculous thing, other than that, is I worry about, making myself presentable to start dating again. And that's why would I be? I shouldn't be worrying about that. you know, I shouldn't be worrying about that. Hey, funeral host, when did you come sneaking in? Good evening. Sorry, I haven't been paying attention to the comments, guys. I just start talking and I just kind of space out to the candle or to the fart or just to the vast space of the VW bus. I know it's not vast. I mean, it's a tiny space, but you know, quantum time thinking. It's infinite. It's not a fractal. Definitely not a fractal, but dang near close to it. So we're officially making this extended. This is some extended time. Yeah, it hurts. It hurts, Eagle Eye, but like like I said, ever since all this weird stuff happened, like officially Megan and I are not supposed to be, associating at work. And so therefore, she was the only one who told me about it. So nobody else at work said one word to me about it. So obviously, they're like, hey, we don't need Brad there. So yeah, it sucks, man. It sucks big time. But I can understand them folks being upset because, like I said, I had a lot of insecurities after I dealt with quickly that I should have dealt with after my divorce. But I dealt with it in the past month and a half now, almost 2 months now, since basically the new year, since Christmas time. And those are over with. Though I mean, the whole that stuff is over with. Like, really groovy to understand that, but it's like the after effects. Like folks not understanding certain things. They're just seeing one way. Narrow-minded thinking is not fun. We all can get narrow-minded thinking, but it's not the best thing to do. To have an open mind is almost a blessing, like it really is just to have an open mind about everything and just take it in and be very open about it. It's basically almost well, it is impossible because we've all been raised with certain filters. Everything is filtered through our consciousness, and our eyes, and we see it the way we want to see it. In reality, it's a whole nother thing. You know me, I'm just a little upset and hurt because of what happened. But in reality, that too shall pass, you know? That too shall pass. But I don't know. I don't know if the next few months is going to bring me into getting an apartment or a small house, or if the next few months is going to be bringing me into changing my channel, you know, in a different format. Same format, but just doing different things to start gearing up towards the future of this VW bus. Because I really got to think about the future of this VW bus. I mean, this is almost a 50-year-old vehicle. 49-year-old vehicle this thing is. It's amazing. Like, I am streaming live to the world from inside a Volkswagen van right now. Can you imagine telling that to somebody in 1970? Like, sitting where I'm sitting, because somebody was sitting where I'm sitting in 1970. This exact same space, different time, but exact same space, you know, physical, theoretical space, quantum space where we're sitting. Somebody had something going on in 1970. And to tell that person, you know, 40 some odd years from now, you're going to be able to sit and talk to the world and they can see you and they can write things and you can interact with them. They'll be like, that's Star Trek right there. That's straight up Jetson stuff. And here we are, man. 2019. I'm able to live stream to you fine folks, tell you my life, tell you what's going on in my life. We're able to listen to music, watch movies, all from an itty bitty device. You know, there's a lot of I guess you can say talk out there that can really upset a lot of folks. You know, anything nowadays in 2019 offends people or upsets people. It doesn't matter. But I can remember, and I'm sure a lot of you fine folks can remember in the 80s and the 90s how everybody was afraid of getting microchipped. Like, oh, they're going to make us get microchipped. We're going to have to be microchipped to pay our phones or pay our bills. We're going to get microchipped to do this. They're going to be so they can track us. And everybody's freaked out about that. I don't know if you guys can remember that or not, but I sure as heck fire do. But everybody's freaked out about getting microchipped. They're like, oh, 15 years from now, we're all going to get microchipped. You know, this was like 97, 96. And look what's going on, you know. Look what's going on, you know, in 2019. No, they didn't put microchips in our skins or in our heads or anything like that. But in a way, they did chip us. You know, by carrying around these cellular, you know, smartphones as they're called, smart devices, Wi-Fi. You know, they know everything by this little device. It doesn't matter how cheap of a device because mine, this thing I'm streaming to you fine folks I'm doing. I bought this December of 2018 or 2017. It's over a year old. Just a little cheap, simple mobile phone that I pay $66 and some change every month. And that's it. But, you know, I get to, you know, play on Facebook. I get to watch, you know, Netflix. I get to watch YouTube. Same thing, you know, with all the folks that get to, you know, do the same thing on their Apple phones and their, you know, Samsung phones and all that jazz. But I keep it simple. It's like $66 a month, but still, I know in the back of my head that, you know, they got me, you know, they chipped me. And it's like, who's they? It's like Facebook. It's all the apps that's on your phone. It's the companies, you know. It's not so much Big Brother or Uncle Sam or the government, you know. It's it's a whole gaggle of fine folks with a bunch of money that keep a very close tab of us. Very close tab. And it is what it is, you know. This is the future. This is 2019. But it's even so much more now in 2019 to stay with one thing in focus, and that's free thought. You know, you can't let your devices, you can't let your YouTubers like me, even me, you can't let your movie stars, your radios, your video games tell you what to see, what to live, what to eat, how to be. You have to think for yourselves, man. You know? And that's the big thing, having these smart devices is well, swell, and groovy. You can do very good positive things with it. At the same time, it enslaves you to certain things if you're not careful. I totally find it far out so I can, basically, you know, make a video or do a live stream every night or every morning. I find that so fascinating. I find it fascinating to put a picture of my bus, with a cool Grateful Dead quote or something on my Facebook. I like that. But to sit there and watch everything that changes on your phones constantly and read, it's crazy because I look down while I'm driving. I drive a VW bus, so my life's a lot slower than most people. Even when I'm driving the big truck, I drive differently because I'm used to driving at a slower pace of life. I'm used to living at a lot slower pace of life. So I see a lot of people driving and walking, staring at their phones, and that's so scary. So scary because, there's a whole world going by and they don't see it. They don't see it, man. Some do. That's why on my lunch breaks, it's so important to me to go out and play disc golf because I get away from the monotony of work. Yes, most of the time I'm playing disc golf, I'm text messaging my friend Megan. We're always talking silly stuff. But other than that, I'm doing something. I'm not like, uploading a video or picture, Yes, I like sharing moments with the world, but it's so important to enjoy those moments without sharing them. So I say we got to be grateful for every single moment of the day, all the time. I say that. Technology is a really groovy thing that's happening. The YouTube, the live streaming, the social media, it really is a double edged sword. There's a reason they used to call, and they still call it on television, programming. you know, there's a reason. It's not so much programming, what kind of, you know, television show is going on or how a television channel is going to perceive itself, but it's programming in many different ways. My friends, it's been a most groovy evening. I feel much better since you guys hung out in the old VW bus. I will see you in the morning for some coffee right here from this old VW bus. My home, my sometimes commuter drive to work or wherever I need to go. It's always by my side, my ever faithful VW bus, just like Mr. Ranger Dog. But when Mr. Ranger Dog passes, and after I pass, and we all pass, there's still going to be this VW bus. This VW bus is going to have a heck of a story to tell in the future, my friends. Our future is not written. No one's is written. The future is what we want to make it. And that's a very vital thing to remember. I had many choices to make my future anything I wanted to, and I've chosen different things. I don't regret those things, but other things we all regret. I had the choice to meet or just completely not meet a certain somebody at work and be friends with that certain somebody. And I chose to be that. And I chose, I thought wisely. But I don't know. Until tomorrow, my friends, coffee, just a little thing I do from this old VW bus. Be kind to one another. Love one another. Be grateful for every single moment of the day because you never know. Peace, love, and Volkswagen grease.